This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
No.
We return to our planet. The High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies. We like movies. Septum Sin versus the world. 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 I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching Septum Sen versus the World. I'm Septum Sen. This is Kotobuki Jake. And we're here to show you what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
So we got a short pickup. We got a lot to record this week. We got 2 live shows today. One of them more advertised than the other, but I had to do it. That's the only way I can get them up like quickly. And so we got the and of course today being Monday when we're recording. So this is Wednesday when you're seeing this, because I can actually download and edit this a little bit. Yeah. So we got some fun stuff, and we've both settled on 5 each. So let's go ahead and get started with this bad boy. All right. So, as y'all know, the PlayStation Store is coming to an end. They have extended the life of it, thank goodness. But I went ahead and I updated everything that I had to make sure all the patches were up to date on everything. I've purchased whatever I can purchase. My hard drive is full, and I got a couple of games that I really wanted to make sure I had because they are not existent on any other platform right now. Well, any other non-mobile platform. So I really wanted to make sure I had it. So these are 2 of those PlayStation 3 games. So the first one is a game by Clive Barker. Yes, that Clive Barker. Called Jericho. Clive Barker did 2 games. One's a PC game, and I can't remember the name of it. And this is the other one. Looks like kind of an action horror game. I had only heard of it in passing, but it's kind of cool. It comes with a manual. I mean, this is a pretty good copy. I was quite pleased with what I got. So, you know, I mean, that's pretty cool. You got some, I mean, shoot, how long has it been since I've seen a manual on one of these? But with Clive Barker doing a game, yeah, it's got to be some kind of screwed up. So I look forward to checking this one out.
All right. So I have a theme for this week, and I believe it's actually a pretty tight theme. I'm going off of memory here, and but I'm almost sure that I'm remembering correctly that all of these are films that were in play during last year's Oscar season. So it seems like it would be appropriate to do this to follow up the Oscars. They either were nominated or they were widely talked about for nominations, or maybe not so talked about, but people were scratching their heads as why they weren't so talked about, you know. And we'll start off with the one I have not seen, but it's supposed to be a really good one. And this was a nominee for Best Foreign Language Feature. I guess international feature. That's what it says on the cover here, but I thought they started that terminology this year, but whatever. And that was the film that I believe was Poland's submission, which is called Corpus Christi. And like I said, it's supposed to be a really good film. After doing time in a juvenile prison, 20-year-old reformed convict Daniel is released and sent to a small village to work as a manual laborer. Upon his arrival, a quick lie has him mistaken for the new priest. Though untrained, his passion and charisma inspire the community. At the same time, his unconventional sermons and unpriestly behavior raise suspicions, etc., etc. This is supposed to be a really good movie, and I mean, again, it was up for an Oscar. I've been meaning to watch it. I have it. It's sitting here waiting to be watched. I just haven't been able to get to it. This is actually one that's been released via Film Movement. They usually package them with short films, and this one's no exception. These are not exactly the commonest releases in the wild. They tend to sell them to libraries and other institutions, from what I can tell. But you can, I think you can order it direct from the site. I got it, I think, off of eBay, but it's been so long I've forgotten. But it's good times. I look forward to eventually watching that.
Well, my next one is the other game. It's in a series, and speaking of eBay, I got this off of eBay. It's in a series that I do love. It's gotten some resurgence lately, and I'll talk a little bit about that. This is Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice.
Dude.
Now, this is there's also an anime related to the first game. So 3 is an odd bird when it comes to the series. I mean, right now, the way that the games are released, and it's still got the manual. This is a Menti copy. This is clean as hell. This looks like, actually, I know why it's clean as hell. It came wrapped. This was brand new. So yeah, this one here is an amazing copy. This one was okay. Also got it off of eBay, but this one was brand new, and I got it for $10. Now, the Disgaea series is a series of strategy role-playing games. And they're very comical. They've got a pretty cool style. The first one originally came out for PlayStation 2, but it's been redone and remastered so that it's now on all current systems. You can buy that on current systems. The second game, to my knowledge, the only ways you can get it digitally on the PlayStation 3 store. Act now, like I did. You can get it on the PC. That's it. 3 is only available on the PS Vita, which is a little handheld, or on the PlayStation 3. That's it. And D2, which is another cool one in the series, is also only available. Actually, it's only available on the PlayStation 3. And that one's kind of it's a sequel, so to speak, because each game has a different set of storylines to a different character. And D2 follows the first Disgaea story. It's a follow-up. And the 4th and 5th games, you can get those on current systems. So, well, current-ish. I think of PS4 and Xbox One as current right now, because because it's really, really hard to get a 1X and a PlayStation 5, and those games will, by the way, work on the PlayStation 5. So, and Switch. So, this is sadly one of 2 games in the series that really needs to go ahead and be re-released, with 2 on current systems. So,
all right. So, another thing all mine will have in common is that they're all going to seem kind of minty because they're all new. I'm pretty sure the remaining ones were all Best Buy pickups. I could be remembering that wrong, but I'm pretty sure of it. All probably around Black Friday, but not necessarily. But you know what I mean? Like, some of them may have been, some of them may not. One film that was widely talked about for the 2020 Oscars, that was widely talked about, is a frontrunner for Best Actor that a lot of people considered a snub. I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but nonetheless, an excellent performance and an excellent film that really kind of ticked me off with its ending was a film by the Safdie brothers called Uncut Gems, where Adam Sandler was a front runner supposedly for actor, and it is one of his best performances. I give him props. He did an excellent job. The problem is the character is not an easy character to like. He has a full-blown five-alarm gambling addiction, and the film is a study in the kind of behaviors that addiction can cause in a person. And so it's not a particularly easy film to watch, and it's hard to like him. It really is. To the point where the end almost amused me in a darkly morbid way, and then they went one step too far, and it pissed me off. So I hope that's not too much of a spoiler. But still a worthy watch. I think it's worth having in the collection. I'm glad to have this. I did not pay a lot for it, so I don't know that I'll be in any hurry to see it again, but it's there.
Well, Adam Sandler's got some good acting chops. He's typecast himself because he makes his own movies for the most part these days, and so he kind of only has himself to blame for how.
Well, actually, he had some hilarious campaigning where he was saying that I deserve this award, and if you don't nominate me, I'm just going to re-up with Netflix and turn out a bunch more crap. And that looks like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's got a few gems in the collection that I would consider artistic. I mean, Punch Drunk Love being the most famous of them.
Right.
So there was an Arrow sale, a brief one. And I went ahead and I picked up a few things on that sale. And here's one of those items, the biggest item, really. Solid Metal Nightmares, the films of Tsukamoto.
It is pretty big.
It's a pretty cool set. I do feel like this. I'm waiting until I'm finished with Dave's set because I've only got 2 more movies to watch in it, and then I'm going to go ahead and filter these in because it's gonna require me to move a lot of stuff. You know the type, right? You know, where you get something in there and you've got to move stuff on the shelves and.
Right.
Oh my goodness. So I'm waiting until that one's done, and I'm going to finally filter this one in with it. But it's got a couple of this particular director, which Jake would probably have a hard time with watching. I've seen Tetsuo. So you've got Tetsuo 2, Tokyo Fist, Bullet Ballet, A Snake of June, Vital, Kotoko, and Killing. So some fun stuff. I do look forward to watching some of these things. I look forward to seeing Tetsuo again. Who knows? Maybe we'll cover some on the group and subject Jacob to the to this greatness.
I know y'all want to. All right. So, a film that came out right at the tail end of 2019 that really probably would have flown under the radar anyway, but it came out so late that it really flew under the radar. And I think a lot of Oscar pundits didn't even think this one had a chance, which is kind of a shame because it's really a pretty good movie. And that's the film adaptation of the recent best-selling book, Just Mercy, which features Michael B. Jordan as an idealistic lawyer and Brie Larson as his associate. I'm trying to remember exactly the position. But anyway, they're law associates. And Jamie Foxx plays an inmate that was wrongly convicted and So this film largely chronicles the attempt to free Fox's character, but also it goes into just the lawyer's overall career starting out in this as a black lawyer in the South, where he's trying to fight for social justice, and quite a timely film for what's going on nowadays and whatever. Like I said, this is actually based on real events. Probably gussied up for the movie, but mostly. And with that cast, I mean, that's a hell of a cast. It's hard to go too wrong with that acting wise. I personally, I thought it was a really good movie, and just kind of flew under the radar. But this was really cheap. I think this was a Black Friday pickup, and I was like, okay, I'm getting that.
Well, I have one that some may have thought flew under the radar this year for the Oscars. An animated one that could have been up for animated feature, which is Ghibli's newest film, Earwig and the Witch. One of the rare times I would say that I consider an anime that is done by a prestigious company like Ghibli, that it did not deserve to be up there with the rest this year. It was okay. But the animation was not as solid as any of the other nominees this year. The music
wasn't the best anime.
Was not the best anime. But to me, I thought that it was okay. But as far as things go, Ghibli has done way better, and Goro has done way better. So I believe it's a Goro Miyazaki film. This is his worst one. I would still say Up on Poppy Hill was his best, but this one is his worst. So it's very. I mean, it's about this girl who's grown up in an orphanage. She's adopted by a witch. Turns out that she's actually the daughter of a witch. I'm not spoiling anything because they give you that information at the very beginning of the movie. So
it's kind of hinted at in the title.
So so she's trying to learn to be a witch, and she's befriending the witch family, and learns a little bit more about them. And then when she finally starts to gain ground with the family, credits roll. So yeah, but it's all right. Looks all right. Decent offering. Not the best CG animation, but not the worst. So it was all right.
All right. All right. Now, this year, we had a narrative where we had an incredibly diverse slate of nominees for the Oscars and a pretty diverse slate of winners with some notable exceptions. Tune into our discussion on this. But last year, I think part of that was a response to last year, where Parasite aside, and even including Parasite because the cast got shafted, in every other category, Parasite was sort of the token diversity film. There was just a little bit of diversity, but and I think there was a little. Oh yeah, it was Parasite and Cynthia Erivo. That was pretty much your token diversity. It's kind of sad, but one of the films that really was poised to offer a lot of diversity that a lot of people thought got shafted was a film directed by Lorene Scafaria, one of several films by female directors that people were thinking should be up. And more than anything else, they thought that Jennifer Lopez was shafted, and I agree, was shafted in the supporting actress category. And that was a film very loosely inspired by real events called Hustlers, which featured our lovely Richmond native Constance Wu, is a young lady who, to make ends meet, decides to become an exotic dancer. And she falls in with a crowd led by Lopez who basically decide to hustle high-rolling Wall Street types, and they get a little scam going, and it's actually pretty fun. The movie is actually quite fun. It's quite well done for the most part. It does have a talented and very diverse cast of individuals. I don't think very many of them necessarily were at full Oscar caliber glory in this film, but I do believe J-Lo gave a career top performance, and she should have been nominated. And it's kind of a shame that she wasn't. And it would have been kind of nice if the film got a couple other nods too, but it's still a fun movie. It's worth a watch, and definitely check it out.
Well, mine is an older one. If you go back to when we were doing gosh, which one was it that we covered by this guy? We're doing the Bakshi stuff, and Shout Factory had a number of titles going out of print. So on their out of print stuff, sometimes I hunt for it and I see if there's something that I really wanted. I was like, I need to get this guy's stuff. So I went ahead and I got Heavy Traffic. Now this one is one that probably could have had an award or been up for one. I've heard a lot of good things about this film, but Bakshi is known for some controversy. But I think that he is one that is really...
Can't imagine why.
He's really a part of the American lexicon when it comes to animation, though. Somebody, I mean, he's unique as far as that's concerned, and not necessarily in a bad way either. I would say definitely this. I mean, his style has merit and is something that brings that possibility that yes, not all United States led animation was for children.
No.
And I mean, nowadays it's a lot easier to say that, but back in the day, a lot of Americans grew up thinking that animation is solely for kids, which is funny because a lot of that generation grew up when this stuff was coming out. I'm sorry, but what child are you showing this in coonskin to? I gotta wonder.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, on that note, talking about things that are good for the entire family, we have a film that actually did win an Oscar, a pretty well-deserved Oscar for makeup, and also got a nomination in a couple of nominations in the acting categories, but was considered a snub for a couple of its acting performances. I believe there was a lead actress nod for Charlize Theron and a supporting actress for Margot Robbie, but a lot of people called out Nicole Kidman as a snub, and I think more people should have pointed out John Lithgow as a snub. And that is a film, again, based on real events, that is based on the Roger Ailes drama at Fox, and that is Bombshell. And did end up, again, making a makeup win. I mean, come on. The way they turned Lithgow into Roger Ailes, that was Oscar-level work there. But also turning Charlize Theron into Megyn Kelly, they did a really good job with that, too. This movie is a little bit problematic for me. I felt very much, this is a Jay Roach film, if I'm remembering correctly, the same guy that brought us Vice and a couple other such films. Roach is not subtle. You can watch this film and tell he has a freaking axe to grind. So the film to me is a little bit flawed, but it really is not so much against Fox News and Republicans as it is an expose of what a toxic work environment is like, of what it's like to have to deal with a male-dominated workplace where they can pretty much do what they want and write it off as joking and whatever. And it features phenomenal performances across the board and fairly entertaining in a way too. So a lot like Vice in a lot of ways. But it's a good movie, and again, Oscar winner, and I'm glad I got it.
Well, I guess that's it for this time around. I hope you enjoyed these pickups. Of course, if you did, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Yeah.